Hi Libra, this is going to be your general timeless reading. Today I have the Starman tarot for you. Starman is one of those more intense decks for me because the imagery is like boom. Even though the deck I just used for Virgo, the True Heart Tarot, that imagery is actually very, it's not as intense, but it's very, there's a lot of energy that comes from it. So maybe it's not exactly the visual in your face that the Starman is, but it definitely has a lot of energy and imagery. Let's see, we have for Libra. And also the Starman doesn't feel like very Libra energy either. It's definitely more like Scorpio, Aries, you know, Capricorn. Let's see if we can get at least two more to make the base. Okay, I got my two more. It flew away. Okay, do it this way. Alright, let's see what we have first. We have 5 of Swords and 3 of Cups. Well, that's some opposing energy here. Yeah. Fighting and celebrating. Getting drunk and fighting. I don't know. It was 5 of Swords first here. Then we have Prince of Cups and 9 of Swords. Once again. Kind of opposing. Yeah. Anxiety about someone offering or showing up in a meaningful way. Then we got the Tower and 8 of Cups. Wow. Yeah. So something crumbled and you're still trying to process it. This is giving me the energy of expectations not being met. That's what I'm getting. But I feel like you realize it was a matter of expectations here. But I'm getting like, with this, I'm getting a lot of sense of like disappointment. Like this is not really about anxiety here, you know, traditional 9 of Swords meaning. This is really like just like knowing and disappointed, being a bit disappointed with yourself because you already knew. Oh look, there's a typewriter and it says help. It's typing out help. I don't think you can see it. It's right here and it's typed out help. Some of the scene, there's like spiders, a crow. Yeah, the crow is representing intuition. It did in another reading too. An empty Red Riding Hood, snakes. Man, there's just so much in this image. This is like knowing. You knew what was going to happen. Like you saw this tower coming. And it's still like very painful for you. It was still very painful for you anyway. And I think there's a bit of like being angry at yourself for it too. And here I'm getting like this is more what you're moving towards, you know, the emotional balance. There's something different in all these cups. This is almost giving me like 7 of Cups vibes, even though it's like not even walking away here. So it's like whatever you were hoping to get here in this cup, right? It's like a letter. It looks positive, right? But now after this Tower moment has happened, you're understanding like that cup came with a lot of unknowns. Like, for example, here, this cup is locked in a safe. So it's like, even if you thought you were getting the cup, you actually weren't. You still had more hurdles to cross, more things defensives to break through. And then here, this cup, it's like, yeah, you could have got a cup, but you have to burn yourself first. And then here, the dynamite, the cup could have blown up at you. And that takes a lot. Like, would he have handed you that cup with a dynamite in it and risked blowing himself up? That's a really great question. And then one cup surrounded by water, so it's like emotional baggage. Would you had to go through a lot of emotional baggage and being drowned in that someone else's emotional baggage in order to get to the cup? And then one cup is just on display, so it's like it's not meant to be touched. One cup's flying away. Is that cup, was that just idealistic? And then one cup looks like it has poison gas coming out of it, so like toxic. It's, wow, there's just so much just in this one thing. And I feel like this is processing the messages that were just coming in for you before. Like, it was coming and it was like too much. Maybe this was one of your first times receiving so much feedback in a situation to the point where you didn't actually know how to process it. And only now that the Tower is falling are you able to process what was coming through previously. Because the Tower is like not only things crumbling, because if you look at this Tower, it's not crumbling. It's just that the Tower's standing, but the things around it are threatening. It's like the Tower can survive, but what can't survive is living in that tower. Like, yeah, you can stay in there, but you're gonna get hit with all kinds of crap. Like, there's a planet, there's, lightning. It's just, yeah. It's like you were seeing the Tower from the outside, and it looks like a safe structure, right? The structure seems safe from the outside, but the fact is it's not safe to be inside there. And that's what it's hitting the eye. The purple lightning's hitting the eye, like sudden enlightenment. And initially this was painful. It's like you knew, but it was too painful to accept at the time. You had to see for yourself. And it's like you're this shadow, so you're not in there. You're standing on the outside. You had to witness other people being thrown out of that tower, and the fire and the other things with it. And then some of this lightning's light blue, so it's like throat chakra communication. Things had to be told to you from other people. You had to see other people suffer in order to realize, okay, maybe this tower is not safe. So that's so much on the second piles. I don't know what to say about the first one yet. I don't know what to say about it yet. Because the 3 of Cups and 5 of Swords, I'm just getting the very fighting energy. What I'm getting is trying to slay the part of you that's feeling a certain way. Maybe not wanting to deal with that negative emotion as much. You see here, it's like the red thing. It's not even like really a person. It's like a concept. Trying to get rid of that concept and maybe drowning out in other activities is what's happening here. I wouldn't go as far as to call it negative coping, but it is kind of misdirection or redirection. And under that is Princess of Wands. So maybe being very open and inviting. Maybe trying to use socialization as a way to kind of move past this difficult stuff. Because underneath Nine of Swords and Prince of Cups is Two of Swords. So it's like splitting yourself. There's a snake and there's an oyster at the bottom. Wow. It's kind of trying to unite the two sides of you. Because you see there's like two figures here, and they walk towards a step towards her, and there's an oyster here and there's a snake. So it's like combining the two sides of you. Maybe the one side that wanted to trust the intuition all along, and the other side who wanted to deny it. And this is interesting. Inside this dog is, what do you call that, an ankh? The symbol, the Egyptian symbol. And a skeleton hand. Dealing with, you know what I'm getting? Like if stuff was coming down, say like red flags or information, you kind of shoved it away to deal with later because you didn't want to deal with it. And now you're kind of being forced to deal with it and examine it. Like you've been given the time because the towers fell. And that's why I needed to fall. And then there's a dark moon in the background. So now I'm thinking about Lilith. But why is Lilith relevant here? Maybe that's another side of yourself too. Maybe there's more than, this is bigger than just one event when it comes to uniting two sides of yourself. I think you've probably always been split in this situation. Thinking you wanted something, knowing you didn't know. So maybe there's a part of you that really wants... Maybe there's a part of you that always easily walks away from what you think is bad for you, like Lilith would. And then another side that wants to see the potential pearl within the oyster. So maybe that's two extremes of yourself there that need to be united. And you need to come somewhere in the middle where you can recognize the potential and also know, go far enough to understand if that potential is real and also walk away if it doesn't pan out. Because there's like a cobra too on the Lilith side. So, well, the cobra is a symbol of like, kind of like teaching you lessons. It can also be dangerous. So it's almost like, even with Five of Swords being self-sabotaging energy too in a traditional tarot, it's almost like every time you automatically choose walking away in the path of independence, that in some ways that you kind of just sabotage yourself, you poison yourself. So there needs to be a healthy balance between the two aspects of yourself. The one that sees potential and takes a risk in some regards, and the one that always walks away in favor of their independence. And underneath the Tower and Eight of Cups is Ten of Pentacles. So what I'm getting at is, it really stuck out to me, this almost looks like a tower too. And with a Ten of Cups, even though this tower doesn't look like this tower, right? It definitely seems safer, but the shapes are very... They seem similar. Is there a David Bowie hidden in this tower? What this is signifying to me is finding the true stability. Finding the tower that's stable. And that's going to deal with like all around happiness. All around stability. Even though it's financial, there's people in here, friendships. So right now, like, you're turning towards friendships and companionships, but maybe not in the right energy. Either you're being too open or you're being a little bit too guarded or defensive. Or, you know, aggressive or something. So I think in one way you are on the right path towards building something for yourself by opening yourself up and finding people to rely on. But don't be too open and don't be too guarded. It's all, well, you're Libra. Balance should be your thing, right? So maybe that's just reminding you of the balance. Let's see if we can get some crowning energies here. Okay, one more. You know, lately more than one has been falling out. Should I just take this one? No, I'm not. It's hard to know what's trying to come out and what is just slipping out of my hands. Okay, I think that one was trying to come out though. Okay, bottom is Judgment. And I like that that's an even number too. So you're learning a lot from this situation. For sure. So you got the World over Five of Swords and Three of Cups. And everyone's in this like very much cycle ending energy. Everyone is. So I think this is going to be... Oh, wow. I just noticed. So the typewriter here said help in the Nine of Swords. There's a typewriter here in the World, and it says no control. So yeah, you're kind of learning that too. Is there any other kind of relevant symbolism here? Well, third eye definitely being open. And then with her, basically she's very aged, right? Not being afraid to show the wisdom you gain through experience too, is what I'm getting here. Like, she's not afraid to look like a crone, you know, and I'm not saying like that physically, you know. I'm also thinking like not being afraid to show the wisdom you've gained through experience. Then we got Nine of Wands above this Nine of Swords and Prince of Cups. So yeah, that's also like fighting with your own shadow here. But I would say the advice is not to fight it. I think the shadow is trying to make you, well, I would, you know, your shadow wanted that control. And you don't need to fight the fact that you wanted control, right? You need to fight the kind of the low vibes that got you to the point where you're grasping for control. You know, even though you knew you couldn't have it. You know, that puts us in worse energy, trying to go for that thing we want than wanting it. I mean, it's perfectly normal to want to know what the future brings, to want to know what's going to happen in a situation. That's not the thing we really need to fight. The thing we need to fight is how much we cling to that and how it affects our behaviors in negative ways. So I'm getting that, you know, part of you integrating and coming together, those two sides of yourself, is understanding the difference, just being aware of it and fighting it off if you have to, right? Knowing the difference between what are intuitive hits, what are negative thoughts, because actually this is like mostly negative thoughts here, even if it is a bit intuitive. This seems more like spiritual enlightenment or spiritual things that come from above versus what are your thoughts. Yeah. Because actually, I guess the things going down are not coming from the swords. It's just the swords are surrounding you, making you probably feel worse about it. But it's also, this kind of seems like a bit like the Wood of the Wands. So just understanding the difference between what is spiritual guidance and what is just your negative thoughts, and fighting those off here is what you've learned or you're trying to work towards. Then the last one is King of Pentacles. So it's one of those things. This is interesting, because this is a more reliable person. This is not as reliable a person if you don't know what's in those cups, right? If you have to constantly wonder about what's in those cups, then you have something offering you. It's clearly what it is. This is a pentacle. This is not a pentacle, you know, covered in emotional baggage. This is not a pentacle with dynamite attached to it. You know what you're getting, you know, and maybe that's what you need more than you do a bunch of random cups. You know, and that's why the Ten of Pentacles is here. You definitely need something more reliable and stable. And first, be that within yourself, of course. You know, be that within yourself, and then you will attract that. But that's what you need more than you need some guy coming up in a stingray who's like, here you go, here's a cup, and boom, it's actually in a safe, or it's dynamite, you know. I mean, it's not bad to also go for the emotion. I think it's just telling you you don't need that from one source with these Three of Cups here. You don't need the cup from just one place. You can have friendships and family members and find ways to have that kind of fulfillment with yourself until the right thing, the right stable, clear thing comes along. So it's not, you know, flinging you out of a tower. I hope that made sense. You know, I was thinking I don't need clarifiers for this. I'm going to move on to the Oracle. And see if we can get any further advice, any further information for Libra here. Anything. I love when I keep shuffling and then nothing comes out. Okay, so you don't want to talk, deck? Okay. Well, then maybe I'll just move back to the Thoth. Because I had the Thoth for clarification, and honestly, that Oracle deck is based on tarot anyway. I love the combination of Thoth and Bowie. Okay, do we have something from this deck for Libra? Oh, okay. Okay. Well, at the bottom is that Two of Swords again. Peace. So yeah, I wouldn't take this as a negative Two of Swords. It's really just about coming together within yourself. The first thing to pop out was the Emperor. So yeah, definitely something more reliable. You know, have the true control, not the illusion of control. And that's why this Ace of Swords is out. No illusions here. See the truth. What is actual control? You know, you can really only control yourself, and you don't want to over-control yourself. But yeah, just realize you definitely can't control what anyone else does. I wonder if I should try this again and see if it'll come out. Is anything going to come out this time? Oh gosh, so many things came out. Yes, it wanted me to say the other part first. Power, that's the strength card. So yeah, your own inner power. This is an Ace of Pentacles, prosperity begins. This is just going to be a lot. 9, fulfillment of wishes. 1, triumphant success. That's Ace of Swords energy. And then hope. So this is after the Tower. This is the Star. After the Tower, this is what you get, hope. So once you're through the other side of this, there's definitely good things waiting. Do I want to use this deck? I'm going to skip to that. I got this crystal deck. It's a new one, Crystal Oversoul card. So we'll see what comes out here. Maybe there's a crystal that will help you through this. Okay. Alright, let's see what we have here. See if I'm able to do it this way. Oh man. Oh. Wow. Ooh, pretty. Bottom is Seraphinite. 43.7. And first, Sapphire, 9. So very nice. If you happen to be a September Libra, that would be your birthstone. Ooh, Garnet, 36. It's root chakra. And Sapphire is third eye. And then Malachite, 3. That's heart. Malachite came out for Virgo too. There's something, Malachite's a real stone for me right now. So, and that's a stone of healing the heart specifically. I think Seraphinite is also. But also the 3 is giving me Empress energy. So heal up and get back to being your awesome self. And 9, Sapphire, that's 36 is 9 too. So it's 2 9s here, just signifying like the end of this cycle. The end of what's happening to you. Build yourself up. Sapphires are strong. They're, you know, the second hardest after diamonds. So, yes. I think that's all I have. I don't feel like there's no angel number. What am I forgetting? Huh. I kind of want to take this as 849. We'll see. Maybe I have to do 49 too. Eight, 4, 9. Your angels are encouraging you to continue connecting with your emotions and uncovering any feelings that you're still hanging on to from the past. Letting them go will create a clear view of what lies ahead. And yeah, that's definitely that 8 of Cups. 2 of Swords, not suppressing. And 6 of Swords is actually under here too. So that's the same message about your emotions and processing them. And let's see, I'm going to go 489 and see what that said. Your angels are waiting for you to arrive at the cave of your heart, so take time to go within. Love is waiting for you there. Oh, nice. So, if you haven't been to the cave of your heart yet, you should try that in a meditation. I don't think there's any specific meditation that I used for it. I probably used some like heart chakra opening frequencies and just envisioned. It's like you go to your heart space. Right? You envision your heart space, however it looks. For me, it's kind of like an open meadow. And initially it was dark in there. Ooh, I wonder why. And as I worked on myself, things became lighter. Well, I had to go a step further and go into the cave of the heart, where it's a cave in that field, and that's even deeper. So I would use that maybe as a visual exercise for meditation and go into the cave of your heart. Make it cozy, you know? Get to know how it is in there. I kind of decorated. I put a rug, you know, some pictures. Yeah. So yes, I'd recommend that, and that'll be key in kind of rebalancing yourself and marrying those 2 aspects. So you're more moderate type person. Not saying you're immoderate, but you know what I mean. Just down the middle. You know, not too especially when something's really throwing you off, which is what the Tower means. Something's really throwing you off balance. It's time to get back to that happy medium of yourself, Libra. Anyway, hope that helps you. Thank you.